because the theme today is, of course, exploring Indian classical dance and its connection to Tantra, and reigniting this beautiful dance form. So our guest today is Ishvari, and she's someone who I actually studied with many years. We were at the same Tantra school in Thailand, and she was longing for a more feminine aspect as well as all the yoga and meditation, and went off to India every year to study and pick up this beautiful dance form. So welcome, Ishvari. Thank you for being here.
Thank you, Sashi. Thank you for welcoming me.
It's wonderful to have you here. I've been so touched by the gorgeous dances. I've been watching all the videos you've been producing with everybody over there in Thailand, and wishing I was there. So yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about this, you know, how you came into this?
Yeah, so as you say, I was spending few years in Thailand in this tantric school that we went together there. We met there, and it was great, all those teachings. But somehow, even though the feminine aspect was present in general in the tantric tradition, but I was still missing the practice that touched me in my heart, a very feminine practice. So basically I wanted to discover something else, maybe related with movement and with dance. And someone told me about classical Indian dance. I had no idea what that looks like, but I was like, that sounds great. I'm gonna go. I didn't know anything, so I picked one teacher, and actually there's many different classical Indian dance. And after the years, I realized actually I picked the perfect one, at least for me, the one that touched me the most. I feel the most connection, that give me the most connection with the feminine. And like that, I really felt as soon as I started the practice of dance, I really felt it was a tantric practice, even though it was not taught like that. It was not bring to me in that way. But for me, it was exactly what I needed. So I was looking for a feminine practice. I found it, but to be honest, it was a very good balance. It was a practice that helped me to balance the feminine and the masculine. And that was very perfect compared with bringing all the experience of Tantra and yoga that I had in the past. So I'm really excited to share that with you.
A lot of discipline, right? Like I have done a few classes, and I think that's the masculine part, right? There's a lot of drill and a lot of discipline, but then the energy within the form. So it's definitely got that combination. It's not just going.
There is it's quite a lot of discipline. Yeah, exactly. It's not connected with the flow in general, but there's a lot of discipline. It can be assimilated with the pure classical Indian dance, can be compared to martial arts in the way of training also. But what I like is that, for example, we divide the body in two parts. We have the upper part, which is more the feminine part, where it's more soft. And the lower part, it's called the Tandavo, and it's more like slapping on the floor. So it's more the Shiva part. So it's more Lasya, upper part, feminine, and lower part, the more masculine aspect. So that's also one way.
That's amazing. I didn't know that. I did once see in India, I saw a woman dancing Shiva Shakti at a Tantra festival, and she would be Shakti, and then she would be Shiva, and she'd be and she ended up with half her face feminine and half her face masculine. It was so mind-blowing. So now I understand, okay, she's been practicing dividing the body in different ways. Totally mind-blowing. So before you launched into sharing a little bit more about the actual dance, how did it impact your life personally? So what were the changes you felt, you know, compared to just doing yoga and meditation? What changes in your energy and in your love life, in virtual experience? Like what your
Yeah, so for me, actually, I always felt very connected with dance, but I could feel like it's like I could feel all my power, all my feminine power in me. But I felt, because I was really shy, I don't know if you remember, but I was so shy. For me, becoming a teacher, it was like even totally impossible in my mind a few years ago.
Oh.
And I was so hiding all the time, not able to talk in front of people. So dancing in front of people was even not possible. But I could feel all the power in me, but I felt I was not able to express it, to embody the whatever I was feeling inside of me. And so this dance practice was really helped me to pass through that, actually. And to be honest, at the beginning, I really enjoy also the discipline somehow of this practice. And it was even my teacher in the school who told me, like, you are changing so much. Like, this practice, you don't realize it yet, but there is something much deeper that is somehow that is impregnating inside you, that is coming inside you. And I was feeling more free. I was feeling more feminine, more centered on the same time. Also spending all this time in India, like in this vibe of also of devotion. It's so much devotion. It's so much like opening of the heart, also this kind of practice. So for me, it was like almost receiving the grace just by practicing that. It was very beautiful. So I think it's something very, so there is something connecting with the feminine energy that was, I'm more able to embody this. It's a work of every day for sure. It's not like everything is there. But there is also like something very subtle of the openness of the heart in general in my life, not just with the dance, with the connection with others, with my lovers, and with spirituality. It was, for me, it helped me so much to connect with a different aspect of spirituality and to go deeper into that.
Oh, sounds, I love the way you're speaking about it. It's just beautiful. And we were excited to interview you because I know you've created a course and you're putting together the Tantra and the dance and bringing it all together. I don't think anyone else is doing that. So I feel so excited by your work. Today on this live class, you're going to be actually giving us a dance class, right? A little bit later. Yes. And first, a little bit of introduction about where it comes from. So for all of you Shaktis out here, all you goddesses, you'll want to be able to get up and have a little dance in a minute. But first, we'd love to hear your presentation. So maybe you want to pull up your slides.
Yeah, I will put up the slide.
And if anyone has any questions at all, you can put them in the chat, and we'll either Ishvari will answer them as they come, or get to them at the end. So please feel free to put your questions over there in the chat.
Okay. So I hope you see the slide. Yeah. Great.
Yep. Perfect.
So it's the dance of the Tantric Goddesses. Why we are going through that today, as Shashi mentioned, that's a course actually that I created where I combine all the different practices that has helped me the most. So it's combination of Tantra and classical Indian dance. So that's why it's called the Dance of the Tantric Goddesses. So first of all, I wanted to explain you who are those Tantric goddesses, because maybe goddesses, it may look a bit new age for a lot of people at the first impression. But the Tantric goddesses is actually something coming from the Tantric tradition, and they are called the Dasa Mahavidya. Dasha, that's mean 10, Maha, that's mean great, and Vidya, that's mean knowledge or wisdom. So they are the 10 great cosmic power of Tantra, the 10 wisdom goddesses that we know in the Tantric tradition. So they represent all these feminine forces. So it's not something that I invented. It's really coming from the tradition, actually. Okay, so it's coming from the Tantric tradition, and so you can find those Dasa Mahavidya in the different texts, like the Upanishad, like the Khadgamala Stotram, like the Lalita Sahasranam. So what makes something tantric? It's classical tantric, I would say. That means it's coming from classical text in general. And Tantra, so I'm guessing you all know a little bit what is Tantra because you are in this platform. And so it's a spiritual path. It's a philosophy of life. And the goal in there is to reconnect with yourself and in order to free ourselves, to attain liberation. And what I especially like about the Tantric path is that the feminine is really welcome. Shakti, the feminine, is really like worshipped. And so in the world where the masculine is taking a lot of place, it actually feels really good to have a moment where we can really reconnect with the feminine like that. So there is not many spiritual paths like push it away, and now we welcome it, we integrate it inside of yourself. So Shakti, if you know what is Shakti in Tantra, so we have Shakti and Shiva, which represent in general the feminine and the masculine. So Shakti is the power, the energy, the dynamism, the creation. And I will put it like this. Everything that exists, that we can see and feel around us, is part of Shakti. Everything that is part of manifestation is Shakti. And for me, it's important to mention that because these 10 Tantric goddesses represent all of that. Everything that you feel, it can be the emotion, the sensation, the feelings, it can be everything that you are able to see, even the earthquake, the tsunami, all of that is part of Shakti, it's the feminine energy actually. And so in the Tantric tradition, Shakti is really revealed as the force of creation, and she's divided in 10 different forms. And so we arrive here to the Dasa Mahavidya. So the Dasa Mahavidya are a representation of all the feminine forces, energies that are present in the universe, basically. And for me, the Dasa Mahavidya was one of the teaching that I enjoyed the most to receive and work with it as a woman. Or for sure, actually everybody can work with the Mahavidya even as a man, because we have a feminine and a masculine side inside of us, all of us, I mean. But right now I'm talking especially with you. I guess there is more women. I don't know if there is man here. So what I wanted to mention, the Dasa Mahavidya, the 10 Tantric goddesses. So there are 10 aspects of the divine feminine that manifest as this very distinct cosmic personality or wisdom goddesses. And they all have different personalities, I would say. They all have different attributes, and they are here to guide us towards liberation. So towards knowing ourselves a bit better. And then, so like that, we can reach freedom, basically. So if you are not familiar with all of that and with Shiva, Shakti, or gods or goddesses, like if it's not really talking to you so much, they can be seen as different ways, as creative force, for example, devotional deities like psychological metaphors, or kind of guides for the deep inner work that we are doing, or all of that, all of it. You can really choose what feels better for you, how you feel them better. So I want to show you quickly who are those 10 Tantric goddesses, the Dasa Mahavidya. So we have Kali, maybe the most famous one, the one that most of the people know. She's the goddess of time and transformation. We have Tara, which is connected with connection. Tripura Sundari, which is all around beauty and desire. Bhuvaneshvari, which is the goddess of space, of Maya, of illusion. Tripura Bhairavi, which is the goddess of action, of tapas. Chinnamasta, the goddess of thunder and sexuality. We have Dhumavati, which represents the void. We have Bakalamukhi, which is the force of immobility. She's a goddess of yoga also, for example. Matangi, which is connected with art and creativity. We can assimilate her with Sarasvati in the Hindu tradition. And Kamalatmika, the goddess of abundance and prosperity, which this one can be connected with Lakshmi, if you are more familiar with Hindu deity. So this is to give you a little bit of an example. So for sure, so now you have all the Dasa Mahavidya, one or two aspects of their personalities, but there is way more into them. And actually, it's like each one of them, they are so rich and they have their own personality. They can be here to help us to liberate us, basically, but they represent also our own little personality. If I can say like that, our own limited aspect. And so they are here, they have both, basically. They have the dark and the light, the shadow and the light. It's not that usually we think of a goddess as being just kind of love and light and that's it, just being beautiful. Actually, those goddesses, they are beautiful, but they can be also terrifying. They can be very scary, because also they are gonna show us those dark hidden part inside of us, those parts that we usually don't really like to face, or limitation. And so they're going to be able to show our limitation, and they're also going to help us to transcend those limitations. So for example, just to give you a little example, I personally connect a lot with the goddess Bhuvaneshvari. Bhuvaneshvari is the fourth one, the goddess of space. We all have maybe one or two goddesses that we feel more connected. And she's the goddess of illusion. So at the beginning, and of the goddess of the heart also. At the beginning, I really felt, instead of realizing that everything that we see around is illusion, it's like a game, a play of the divine, basically. I was so lost in it and so attached to it. So basically, she was reminding me like how much I was lost in her. And I was not able to transcend that to see the bigger picture behind it. So I hope you are following a little bit. So just to give you an example on how they are, with their wisdom, with their teaching, they can help us to connect with our limited self, to unravel the limited self, and also actually to transcend the limited self. So now coming to the next part, the classical Indian dance. So the classical Indian dance, the way it's practiced nowadays, so there is actually 8 classical Indian dance in India. They were originally practiced in the temple as a devotional dance, as an offering to the deity of the temple, and they were performed by the women that we call the Devadasis or Maharis. It depends on which part of India. And so the Devadasis, if we translate this word, it means the servant of God. So it was something really like practiced by the woman in the temple as a form of devotion, as a form of worship. And this dance form is really full of grace, full of beauty, and full of devotion. It's really like you offer yourself. They were considered married to the deity, and they offer themselves to the divine, basically. And what I like with this is like using the body as a sacred space. In Tantra, we also say that the body is a temple. So we should take care of it. And here we are using our temple, using different specific position of mudras, hands and hand gesture, of padas, feet position, then the torso, the bhangis, different eyes and everything basically, to be able to connect with a certain energy. In this kind of dance, it's like we are embodying the deity. It's depend, which each dance has its own theme, I would say. So a lot of time actually, it's taking stories in Indian mythological stories from the text called the Puranas, and we are actually playing those roles, those, for example, Shiva and Shakti, and putting this mythological story into dance, into drama, into theater. And we are transmitting the spiritual knowledge through dance and movement. That's what I really like. For the art in general in India take a big place. All the gods and goddesses in India are actually like somehow connected with art. Even Shiva, there is one form of Shiva which is connected with the dance, Shiva Nataraj, for example. So we are transmitting, we are giving an opportunity to transmit a message through dance, through movement, through art, a spiritual message like that. So that's what I especially like for this. So I'm not sure what time is it, but I think we should go and dance soon. So dance actually, because of those spiritual teaching that is emanating from here, dance can become a sadhana that way, so a spiritual practice. So now I invite you, I didn't check the chat, so I will stop sharing the screen. Odyssey, yes, I have studied Odyssey for the past 7 years. So there is many different one, and Odyssey is one of the classical Indian dance. Okay, so let's stand up and I will show you what I have prepared for you. So you need a little bit of space and I will adjust my screen. Okay. So we're gonna have different movements. So we're gonna have mudras, so hands position. We're gonna have padas and bhangi. So the first, if you're lost, just focus on the feet and then on the hands. And then I will add little details. You can choose to do them or not, just for you. We're gonna do the entrance step. So imagine you are entering into a temple, the temple of the goddess. And we are entering with devotion, with flowers in our hands. So for that, the hands mudra is pushpa puta. Pushpa puta, you make 2 little cups with your hands and you place them here next to each other. The elbow, see, the elbow are up on a side. And you don't keep the hands close to the body, give a little bit of space here. And always nice and elegant. There's a lot of aesthetic and beauty in this kind of dance. So here, like that, with the torso nice and up. For the feet, you're gonna place the right feet behind here and opening the knee on the side. So you are creating like a shape, an open shape in between your feet. It's like a little, you use like, you're using your body as a yantra, like the sacred geometrical shape in Tantra. So you are here entering. We're gonna do 4 steps forward to enter the temple of the goddess. So all your weight is on the left leg. We're gonna do 1 step forward. So if you want, just do simple step, but a little bit crossing the feet. So I cross with the right leg, I put the heel, I turn and I transfer my weight in the front leg. If it's, I'm not gonna spend too much time explaining the feet, but basically that's it. So from here, all your weight on the left, the right, the heel is up. the right feet, the heel is up. And then one step forward, transfer your weight. One step forward, transfer your weight. Like that 4 times with Pushpa Putta Mudra in the hands. Here. Great. So 4 steps like that, slow, and then 4 steps fast. So for me, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start here. So I'm going to do 4 steps slow. I turn 4 steps faster, double time, forward. Check for your space what is better for you. So imagine we start here, entering the temple, and we start 1 step, 2 step, full of love, of devotion for the deity. 4 step, and then 4 step faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. From here, what we're gonna do, you're gonna bring your feet, the heel together, Viparita Mukha Pada, so it's open on the side, you know, like little bit ballet position. We're gonna go down. So here you're gonna go down with the knees on a side. Don't go like that. This is what we call the toilet mudra in India. So here we are classical Indian dance. So we open as much as possible on the side, the torso very nice, long and straight. Always don't forget your little flowers in your hands here. And here, imagine you have the deity, the goddess just in front of you, and you're offering those flowers. So you're making a circle, a clockwise circle here, and coming in front of your heart. And from your heart, you're offering the flowers. So you do a little gesture, a little bit on the top, and offering in the front. And from there, you're gonna come back into Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra is the 2 hands in Namaste like this. So from here, again, we do a little circle. From the heart, you offer those flowers. Actually, from here, when you offer the flowers, it's like on the same time you're receiving the blessing of the goddess upon you. So here, your hands, you're gonna bring them above your head, around, separate all the fingers. It's called Alapadma, all the fingers separate. Alapadma, the lotus flower here. So once you receive the blessing of the goddess, here, separate all the fingers, Alapadma, and coming back to Anjali, here. From there, we're gonna stand up. So it's a bit demanding for the legs, yes. You are to push and stay strong here. And from here, once you have received the blessing of the goddess, we're going to do 2 steps forward, because from the heart, now we are able to spread the knowledge, the wisdom of the goddess. So on that case, I show you from here, from the heart, we open in the front, Alapadma again, all the fingers separate. We open, 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 and back here in the center, Kataka Mukha, thumb, index, and major together here, in front of the chest. So starting again, Anjali Mudra, from the heart. After receiving the blessing of the goddess, we are able to spread her knowledge and wisdom. Here. Great. You do good. Alors, so we go back from the beginning, right? Let's do those 4 steps from here, entering. Ready? 3, 4, and 1 step. 2, 3, 4, and 4 step faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4. From here, Viparita Mukha Pada with the feet, we go down. Offering the flowers, circle with the hands. From the heart, I'm offering the flowers to the feet of the goddess and receiving her blessing, hands above the head, around Alapadma Mudra and Anjali Mudra here. We stand up, here. And now 1 step, 2 steps forward, and on the same time, we open the hands. So 1 step, 2 step. We are able to spread our knowledge and wisdom. Great, from the heart. And we are able to incarnate our beauty. So for me, I'm doing 1 more step. Every time the step is a bit crossing. 1 more step. So all your weight is on the left, on the front leg. 1 more step with the right. With the left hand, you're going to use Alapadma again. So all the fingers. And on the right is Dola Hasta, the goddess hand. So it's just you drop the hand and you relax the hand, the wrist. So the thing is, you don't do chicken hand like that, no, where the wrist is upper than the elbow. Your wrist is lower than the elbow. Otherwise, it's do chicken hand. So we want goddess hand, okay? So from here, where are we? Here, 1 step with the right, Alapadma, the lotus flower with the left, and Dola Hasta with the right hand. And you look at your left hands with devotion, with beauty. It's like I'm able to embody the wisdom of the goddess. I'm becoming the goddess here. And the last pose, 1 step forward again with the feet, so crossing over again. So all your weight is coming on the left leg. And you're going to use Alapadma, both hands, Alapadma, 1 above the head, the right arm above the head, the left hand coming around the navel, at the level of the navel, here. And see, the torso is going to the right, here. Your gaze is going to the lower left side, here. And if you feel like, because all your weight is on the left, you can even lift up the right feet. So your knees are behind each other's, here. So I didn't explain much about the feet, but you get a little view like this. So let's do it again from the beginning, slowly, okay? Let's do it. Starting Pushpa Putta. Imagine you have flowers, petals of flowers in your hands. You are preparing to enter into the temple, full of love, the heart open to the feet to see the goddess. And then, so we have all the weight on the left leg, the front leg. We're gonna start with the first step with the right. 1 step with the right. 1 step with the left. 1 step with the right. 1 step with the left. And again, 4 steps faster. 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going back because I don't have enough space. From here, Viparita Mukhapada with the feet. The heels are joining. We go down, open the knees on the side. You are offering the flowers to the goddess. The circle with your hands clockwise direction. From the heart, you are offering the flowers to the feet of the goddess. Then passing your hands above your head, receiving her grace, arms all around and coming into Anjali Mudra, here in front of the chest. From here, we stand up. Stand up. And we're going to do 2 steps forward and on the same time opening the arms. So first step with the right leg, 1 step with the right, 1 step with the left, and back into Kataka Mukha. The hands, thumb, index, and major together in front of the chest. Here. Then 1 step with the right, and looking at your left hand. Left hand, Ala Padma, all the fingers, and the left arms is up. Right arm, Dola Asta, resting the goddess hand. And then one step forward, and you're moving the hands. So your right arm is going up, your left is going down, and going into the last position here, where you look down to the floor. Great. So, great. We're gonna do it again, just for you to know with the music. I have a little music. So there is the feet, and there you see me sometimes moving into the my torso. The torso is, so it's not the hips. I think I saw someone like moving the hips, so it's not the hips like this. It's like the hips are stable, the torso is moving. The upper body, the heart is moving. So when I'm walking, I am moving my torso. And that's the beauty of, especially of Odissi, the dance style that I'm studying. And so if you want to add, if you see myself moving the torso, just add that, but that's another layers. Usually we have different layers. So the feet, the hands, then the torso, then the head, like this, or the little Indian head, and the eyes. So when we learn one movement, it's not just one position. It's like you have to pay attention to the feet, to the hands, to the torso, to the head, and to the eyes. So all those little details, that's what makes the beauty of classical Indian dance. So let's do it with music. Ready? So. Yeah, I'm gonna share the sound. Can you hear the music? Yes? Great, perfect. So take your position and center yourself in the heart. So for now, just be standing. I will tell you when to take the starting position. Now take the starting position. Ready? And start. 1, 2 step, 3 step, 4, and fast. 1, 2, 3, 4. Go down, offering the flowers. From the heart, you give the flowers. Taking the grace above the head. Anjali Mudra. And you can come up. Ready? And step forward. 1, 2. I welcome the wisdom of the goddess. Step forward with the right. I embody her teaching. And then the last pose, the goddess pose. Here. And lift up the feet, the right feet if you can. Great. Perfect. Do you want to do it one more time with the music? Yeah?
We've got a dance class going here. We even had the owner of our restaurant join in at one moment from Costa Rica.
Oh, yeah, I see that. So let's do it one more time. Try to just focus also on the energy, because, okay, there is the movement, but the most important is the energy that is behind, what you are emanating when you dance. So try to feel this devotion, the connection with the goddess there. So let's do it again from the beginning. Centering yourself and taking the position. Getting ready and step. And 2 step. 3 and 4. Faster. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now we go down, opening the knees on the side. Circle with the hands. From the heart, we are offering the flowers to the feet of the goddess. Taking the blessing over the head, opening the arms on the side and Anjali Mudra. Now we stand up. Getting ready and step. 2 step. Mukha. Step. Opening the left hand on the upper part with Alapadma. And then 1 more step, changing for the goddess. Toes. Torso to the right. Great. All the fingers in Alapadma. Good. Good, good. Perfect. So, how was that? I know that's quite fast. There is so much more I want to share with you. It's so much little detail that will make the dance even better. But how was it for you?
Wow. Beautiful. We felt like we were temple priestesses. Juicy.
Yeah, this is sensual in a way. It's like the Indian sensuality and so much devotion, so much beauty into it.
Do people want to share in the chat how they feel so we can hear a bit from everyone?
Can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
That's Jamie.
Yeah.
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 In what you teach and in what you studied, is there breath, like specific breaths for the movements and for the mudras, or it's open?
You for sure with the time you use the breath with each movement. When you offer the flowers, it's like you're taking a breath in, and you offer the flowers, it's like you giving the breath out. So you are using, but it's more with the energy afterwards. The first step is in the classical way is to learn the different steps, and then it's adding what we call the bhav, the energy, the emotion behind what you want to transmit. So yeah, it's coming naturally with this. Yeah.
Here we've got That's So Sexy, I Would Like to Learn More. Me too. And beautiful. You're feeling beautiful, Mata?
Great. Good.
How about our sister from India? Comments? I see that we're nearly up to time. I can't believe how quickly that went. So yeah, we've got time for a couple more questions if anybody has, but it would also be really nice to hear a little bit, maybe meanwhile you can tell us, Ishvari, about your program that you put together, because you've put this together with Tantric theory, right? And the whole training. Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, thank you. So the program is called the Dance of the Tantric Goddesses. That's the title of this meeting today. So where I combine all of that. For me, as I say, like this course is my most favorite course that I have created, because I put inside all the practice, everything that inspired me. And I believe as a woman, like there is a lot to learn from the Dasa Mahavidya, from the Tantric Goddesses, and from the classical Indian dance. Well, what I am doing is, I call it devotional dance. So this program is all around that. So I divided in 2 modules because it's a lot to share. So we have the module 1 starting on the 15th of April, and it's for 11 weeks. So it's finishing on the 1st of July. And then the module 2 is in the fall. So in the module 1, we will actually explore the first 5 of the Tantric goddesses. So we're going to spend 2 weeks with each of those goddesses. And in the fall is the 5 last one. And so we're going to work with them, and it's full of devotion, as I say, and I love rituals. So for sure, we're going to have our opening ritual. We're going to have a closing ritual for each module. And you're going to have all the explanations. So it's online program. There is pre-recorded videos, and there is also live. So in the pre-recording videos, the first week is like the week of introduction, where I really explain you what are the Dasa Mahavidya, the classical Tantra inspiration, what is the classical Indian dance. And I will introduce you to all the different practices that you can do to tune in with those Tantric goddesses. So for example, there is the practice with the mantra, there is the yantra, those geometrical shape, for example, like this. Maybe you have seen a lot of those around, I'm sure. And the practice of nyasa. So nyasa is combining mantra and mudras. So all of these are classical tantric practice and also devotional dance. So devotional dance is a bit what we have done, for example, today. So it's inspired by classical Indian dance, but it's made a little bit more easy because otherwise it's not that accessible. So I have created for each of those goddesses a mini choreography inspired by their teaching, inspired by the personality of each of those goddesses. Like that, you really going to be able to feel and to embody so her energies in you. So that's part of the different practices that I offer during the course. So there will be live also, one live for each goddess that I call the chai time. You know, in India, there is a chai always, like when you take a little sip of chai, of tea in the streets. So it's a little bit of a time to connect with each other. It's a time to express if you have any question. We're going to practice together. And on the top of it, I'm going to share a little bit more around different topic, different subjects around Tantra, around classical Indian dance, around the art and Indian aesthetic in general. So it's a little bit of a bonus of like that you can bathe into this this aesthetic of India that I love so much. So I'm very excited to share that with all of you. And we have also like a Telegram group.
A week is it, just roughly? What's the time commitment each week?
What did you say, sorry?
Time, how many hours is it going to be every week?
So it will depend on you. The video of for each goddess, you will receive one pre-recorded video of the explanation. The video is between 30 minutes and 1 hour. The dance is the same, about 30 minutes to 1 hour for each goddess. Then there is your own practice that you do. So you set up your own time for that. It can take just 10 minutes a day, or it can take 1 hour a day. It's you decide. You choose, depend of your time. So yeah.
Wow, it sounds amazing. I mean, we're about to start our own live training here in Costa Rica, but we're like, whoa, can we fit that in our lunch breaks? It sounds fantastic. What times and days of the week? Like, there's also the question about the time zone, so that people know.
It's dependent. Actually, I didn't set up the time yet because I want to see from where all around the world you are to try to manage to find the right timing. So I keep that open to see what I will try to choose the best time possible for that. Last time I did it, it was usually like around the evening for the European time, but I want to check what is the best for all of it. And anyway, even for the live, everything is recorded, so you will have access to, if you cannot join for the live, you have access to the replay, and you have access to the course for 1 year after that. So you can always go back, because I think you will want to go back. It's a lot of information. You will see it's quite dense and quite quite intense. We'll explore all those different facets of yourself. I will do some inner work, inner reflection work also, adding to that. So it's beautiful.
Amazing. Someone was asking, was there a specific goddess in the dance that we did with you now?
Yeah. Well, right now, for me, when I created this one, it was just the goddess in general, Shakti in general. So it was not one specific one for this one. But then for the course, it's for each specific goddess I created something special. Yeah, and there is
has gone. We're already up for our hour now. If people have more questions, and if you have more questions, you can go on to the event and the questions there, and Ishvari can answer them in a form.
Sure.
And have a discount. You're offering us a discount. I see here there's 10% discount. Yeah. So there's the link there in the chat. If anybody would like to join, then you can click on that.
And also, if you want, you can actually choose just to try the module 1, and maybe like that you decide if you want to do the module 2 later, or if you are sure you want both, you can buy the package module 1 and 2 already, and it's a good price for the like a discount for that. And it's also possible to pay in multiple time. I offer this also if you want.
Oh, that's perfect. Wow. Well, thank you so much. We're about to start our class here, and it's so nice that we were all here in the restaurant dancing. So it feels very Shakti and very goddess. I just so love your work, and I just want to say, for those that this is the first class, I have done a few times Indian classical dance classes. And I found that sometimes the more traditional teachers are kind of teaching as if you're going to be there for 20 years. And so you spend a whole class just moving one foot. And, as a bit of a fiery Aries, I found that kind of, a little bit slow for me. I'm very happy that your style is very integrative, and that we come away from this class in less than an hour with a whole beautiful form that we can carry on practicing and dancing. And so I love your teaching style. I think it's really applicable to the modern woman.
I'm trying to do really that. So, and honestly, like the video of dance, like it's in the studio. It's really nice with the mirror. I take the time to explain you why I choose those movements, every single mudras, and I explain you really step by step all the different layers of the body. So I think even for people who doesn't know really much, who are not comfortable with dance, I had really good feedback with the dance class. So if in case you are wondering.
You've got 2 sign-ups there. We're joining. We'll make
good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much to you.
And maybe the end of summer. And lovely to see all of you sisters around the world. It's just really lovely to be dancing with you in all these different places. It feels just incredible that we have this global Tantric sisterhood happening. So thank you all so much for joining. Thank you, beautiful transmission.
Thank you so much.
I will make it.
Meet you all.
Classes. See you all soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.